1982 Donruss. 1982 Donruss. Maybe there's a Ripken in here. That would be fun. Is there even a Ripken in this set? It would be cool if there was, and it was in this pack. There's definitely, Lou Gehrig's abdomen. Okay, we begin with Butch Hobson. Butch was a third baseman for the Angels, obviously, but before that he was a third baseman for the Red Sox. He also managed your Lancaster Stormers in the 2010s. I believe he even managed them to an Atlantic League title. He is one of the main reasons the Sox blew their big lead to the Yankees in '78. He had bone chips in his elbow and would have to adjust them at third base before making the throw across the diamond. I believe he had over 40 errors that year. Over 40 errors. My cousin Darren, who was a big Red Sox fan, was growing up back then, and at one point sat along the first baseline with a big sign that said, "Throw it here, Butch," which was featured in the early days of ESPN. There's a young Harold Baines. Here are two Yankee winners, Ron Guidry and Tommy John. Look at these guys. Look at how much taller Tommy is than Ron. Here's a Roy Smallley Diamond King. Roy Smallley, not a king of the diamond. Not a king of the diamond. Another Diamond King. And here's Pete Rose, who was a king of the diamond. I saw a great clip of Rose with the Expos trying to give the forearm shiv to catcher Mike Fitzgerald. And Fitzgerald just gave him a great Olay move and tagged him and shoved him out of the way. It's a nice clip. Danny Boone. I believe he was a great frontiersman. Oh, hey! It's another Pete Rose. We got two Pete Roses. What are the odds of that? I sure wouldn't have bet on that happening. It's funny because he was a degenerate gambler. Here's Luis DeLeon, who was a good pitcher with the Cardinals and then became the league's worst pitcher with the White Sox. One of his years with the White Sox, it has like the worst pitching line that you will ever see. Dave LaRoche, who famously threw the lob curveball to Gorman Thomas. Let's just play that clip again. It's just a great clip. Let's just play it. Juan Berenguer, practitioner of the Berenguer Boogie, and from whom you can now buy a Ford at a very, very good price. Here's Daryl Jackson. Nice action shot with kind of the broken neck there. I like that card. That's good. There's Rick Wise at Shea Stadium, as everybody knows. No-hitter with 2 home runs. Traded for Steve Carlton. That's Rick Wise. Another Rick Langford with an incredible mustache. Throwing it back to the early 70s mustache days. And Mike Squires, who was a crap hitter, excellent defender, and one of I think 3 left-handed throwers to play catcher. He was one of the very, 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 very few lefties behind the plate. And I mean, he only did it for an inning or 2, but it's still the answer to a trivia question. It's like him, Benny DiStefano, and Dale Long. Look it up. All right. Hopefully this day will go better, and, no one will threaten to call the cops on me. All right. Have a good one.